So last week I think I went like 9-6. Okay, but nothing special by any stretch of the imagination. For the first time since week 3, no more bye weeks. We've got 16 games. All 32 teams are playing in this week 13 of the 2013 NFL season. Let's see how I do on the picks this week. This week is always kind of cool to me because you got the 3 games on Thanksgiving Day. To me, that's what Thanksgiving's about. It's not about being thankful for this and being thankful for that, or the stupid Black Friday shopping, or the Pilgrims and the Indians and all that crap. It's all about football. And the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. You damn right indeed. So let's see how I do on my picks this week. Looking at the Thursday matchups, you've got 3. You've got obviously your 2 traditional host teams, the Lions and the Cowboys. The Lions are taking on the Packers, a great divisional rivalry there. And you've got actually technically the longest continuous rivalry in National Football League history. Not the Bears and Packers, because the Bears and Packers did not play in 1982. Technically, the longest continuous rivalry in the National Football League is the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. You've got the Raiders traveling to Dallas to take on the Cowboys, and you've got the Steelers traveling to Baltimore in an AFC North, matchup on Thursday night, taking on the Baltimore Ravens. When I look at the Packers and Lions, I'm assuming Aaron Rodgers is out. I'm assuming also that Matt Flynn is going to be the starter for whatever that's worth. He did come in and play relatively well against a bad Vikings defense in the second half of that tie game last week. The Lions are coming off of a couple of bad losses to the Steelers, and then last week to the Buccaneers. The bottom line is the Lions are trying to give away that NFC North when, for all intents and purposes, they should have put it to rest, really. I look at this matchup, though. Even with Flynn starting for the Packers, who looks like he's going to be better than Tolzien was, the Packers are just lost without Aaron Rodgers. So I'll take the Lions. I think they rebound here. I'll take the Cowboys over the Raiders, even though this is the type of game that you would look at the schedule and say, oh, yeah, the Cowboys will lose that. It's Thanksgiving. They're at home. The Raiders are okay, but nothing great. That's the type of game that the Cowboys will lose. I think they'll find a way to win. And then I'll take the Ravens over the Steelers in that other divisional matchup. I'm sure that'll be more of a low-scoring physical football game, and I think the Ravens will get them this time. Now we transition to the Sunday afternoon docket, the early games. You've got the Titans traveling to Indy to take on the Colts. The Titans, they came back and won last week against the Raiders. A couple weeks ago when they played the Colts, they stormed out to a big lead only to piss it down their legs in the second half. The Colts look like a train wreck of a team right now, getting blown out by the Rams, getting blown out by the Cardinals. This team does not look very good right now. Even, a couple weeks ago, having to struggle to come back just to beat the Tennessee Titans. I'm assuming at this point that the Colts will play a little bit better this week, so I'll pick them, but I definitely don't feel confident in that pick at all. You've got the Jaguars traveling to Cleveland to take on a kind of reeling Browns team. It sounds like Brandon Weeden's going to start for them this week, which is an instant, oh my God, for Browns fans everywhere. The Jaguars have played a little bit better over the past couple of weeks. I still think Cleveland's a better team, and I'll pick them to win this week. Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the past month have played some really good football. They're ironically enough, one of the hottest teams in the NFL. Unfortunately, they travel to Carolina to take on a really, really hot team in the Carolina Panthers, who have now won 7 games in a row. When you look at the Monday night matchup, this week, everybody's going to be talking about Saints and Seahawks and skip and whoop-de-woo. A lot of people, I think, are going to forget about the fact that the Saints might not even be the best team in the division. And in fact, I do firmly believe that the biggest threat to the Seattle Seahawks and all of the NFC come playoff time is going to be the Carolina Panthers. So I'm picking the Panthers to win. You got the Bears traveling to Minnesota to take on the Vikings. I'd expect AP to have a huge day against that porous-ass Bears run defense. The only saving grace for the Bears maybe is that the Vikings offense, other than Adrian Peterson, is nothing special, and the Vikings defense itself is boo-boo. So I'll pick the Bears to win. The Patriots, I'm picking over the Texans. I'm learning my lesson now. No more picking the Texans at all this year. I don't care who the fuck they're playing. I said a couple weeks ago with the Falcons I wasn't picking them to win another game this year, and I'm not going to do it anymore with the Texans. They burned me far too many times. The Patriots are far better. As Andre Johnson put it perfectly for the Texans, we suck. Well, you guys do suck, and you're going to lose. You got the Cardinals traveling to Philly to take on the Eagles. The Cardinals are flying really under the radar here. A team that's 7-4. Their offense is playing a lot better, and they've got a really, really good unheralded defense that makes some big plays, is good against the run, can force some turnovers, get some pressure on the quarterback. You look at the Eagles; they struggled over the past 2 years to win games at home. They at one point in time, until they beat the Redskins 2 weeks ago, had lost 9 straight games at home. That's kind of a flukish thing. So going into this matchup, I would presume that the Eagles would win, but they haven't necessarily played all that well at home. Now Nick Foles is the man. He's going to be the starting quarterback for the rest of the season unless an injury happens. I'm going to take the Eagles here coming off of a bye. I've got the Dolphins beating the Jets. I've got the Bills beating the Falcons. You look at what I call maybe the marquee Sunday late afternoon game. That's the Rams traveling to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. I'm picking the 49ers to win here, but I really wouldn't be surprised to see the Rams really stick a game to the 49ers, because after the Rams started off the season very shaky, they've really rebounded nicely, and over the past few weeks have played some really good football, beating and stomping teams like the Colts and the Bears. They're a hot football team right now. It wouldn't surprise me to see them go into San Francisco and beat the 49ers, but I'll still take San Fran to win it. Sounds like they're going to have Crabtree coming back, which is going to be nice for their offense. I don't expect him to do much in his first game back from a torn Achilles, but they'll get him worked into the offense, and it's going to be a big-time addition for them as you get closer to the playoffs. I'm going to take the Bengals over the Chargers. You've got the other marquee, I guess you'd say, I forgot about this, the other marquee late Sunday afternoon game, the Broncos traveling to Arrowhead to take on the Chiefs, a matchup of two teams that aren't winning the Super Bowl, so forget all about it. I'm going to take the Chiefs here because I think what happened last week with the Chargers game might have been just a matter of they just come off of that letdown of losing to the Broncos, and they were looking maybe a little ahead to playing the Broncos again 2 weeks later. They forgot all about handling business against the Chargers. And the Broncos, this is a team right here that since John Fox went out for his aortic heart valve surgery, they haven't been all that good. They have not impressed me whatsoever. And last week was definitely an example. The Patriots hand you a 24-0 lead, and you can't find a way to hold on and win that football game. Their offense is good. It's very good, but their defense sucks. Flat out sucks. And now you have to go into Arrowhead. I think the Chiefs will adjust a little bit better to Peyton Manning the second time around. Maybe their offense will play a little bit better. You have to say one thing that was encouraging for the Chiefs. They did put up 38 points last week. They scored some points. They moved the ball down the field on the Chargers. Yeah, the Chargers defense isn't great, but neither is the Denver Broncos, so I'm taking the Chiefs here. I'm going to take the Giants in the Sunday night matchup over the Washington Redskins, two teams that look like they're not winning the NFC least. The Giants, I think, are the better of the two teams, so I'll take them. The Monday night matchup. The media is going to hype this up as the big matchup of the two best teams in the NFC, even though I don't think that's the case. And they're going to talk about the fact that the winner of this game very well could end up cinching home field advantage throughout the NFC playoffs, that this game could be the most important game of the regular season in all of the NFC, because this might determine who ends up going to the Super Bowl. It's incredibly tough to go to the Superdome and win. It's incredibly tough to go to Qwest Field and win. But, this is maybe the media getting a little ahead of themselves and forgetting some very important details. In terms of this matchup, Seattle is a really tough place to go and win a football game. And even with the suspension of Brandon Browner, and that's going to hurt. And I think Thurman, didn't he get suspended as well? I'll still take the Seahawks here. They've got Percy Harvin back now. This is, to me, still the most complete team in the NFC, and I would assume that they're going to show that to the Saints and the rest of the football world on Monday night. Again, you're free to go against me with your picks down in the comments section below. 9-6 last week. Maybe I can win 11 or 12 games this week. I saw somebody commented before that I was like in the top 50 or top 100 in South Africa. I want to be higher than that in South Africa, and hopefully this week will get me one step closer, brother.